This conference will now be recorded.
Right, let's start today's session. In the last session of Python, we were discuss about control statements, control flow statements. What are the control flow statements? Three types of control flow statements we have started. That is conditional statements, iterative statements, transfer statements. We just finished only conditional statements in the last session. If else, nested if, elif. Today we will discuss about iterative statements. That is loops concept. So that means for loop and while loop. Okay, for loop and while loop. So we'll see how to work with for loop and while loop. What is the difference between for loop and while loop? We'll look into that. First, we'll start with for loop. Generally, what case we can use for loop, I will discuss. Let's consider this example, like test 7. This is example. In this example, consider this list. L is a list values. We have list of elements like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. If I print list directly, it will print. How it will print? Same list category, list values only it will print. List structure through only it will print. Now you can see list structure is printing. But my requirement is what, I want to extract values from this list, one by one values. To extract values from this list, there is one option is there that is called indexing. Index means always every data structure in Python index starts with 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the indexes. If I try to get the values from list one by one, we can use index like L of 0. L is your list name, 0 is a index name. L of 1, print L of 2, print L of 3, like this. So we are using what? Indexing concept to print list elements clearly. L of 5. So we are having how many elements? 6 elements. We are using 6 indexes like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Assume that there are some 100 values in the list. Will you write 100 print statements with indexes? No, that's not good idea. Here we have 6 elements are there in the list. We are printing these 6 elements with indexes only. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's okay. But if you have 100 values are there, 100 print functions will you use? If you write 100 functions, it will work. But how much time it will take, you can see this. 100 values, 100 times you have to print L of 0, L of 1, L of 99, L of 100 like that. That is not at all good practice in real time. So to avoid this, if you want to iterate, means one by one values, if you want to display from list or any other collection, then we recommend for loop. So for loop is used to iterate the elements of the collection, what order they appear. What is the use of for loop means? For loop is used to iterate the elements of collection. What elements of collection? List elements collection or subtuple elements collection. For loop is used to iterate the elements of collection, what the order they appear. What the order they appear. Means what order it is appearing in the list collection. Same order it is used to iterate the elements. Iterate means one by one. Values we can collect from the collection. List collection, tuple collection, string collection, any collection you can iterate. Because these are iterative statements. Iteration means one by one. Okay, like value by value we can read. That purpose we use what? For loop. So let's avoid this multiple print functions. with indexes to get the values from the list. Only we are using simple for loop here. Simple for loop, how to use, we'll see. Syntax of for loop is this: is for is a keyword. Your loop variable name, in is a keyword, sequence, loop body, that is statements only. This is the syntax of for loop, sir. For is a keyword, variable name, loop variable name. You can take any variable name here to store the values which is coming from the sequence and store the values into this variable name. That variable name we can print in the form of statement. Here two keywords are involved in this line. For is a keyword, in is a keyword. For variable name, in where we have to read sequence. Sequence name can be of list or set or tuple or string or any sequence you can take. Let's copy this syntax and place them into coding part. I'm going to write here code. Loop variable name, I'm taking I simply. What is your sequence name? Already sequence is there, no? L. L is a sequence. And what statements do you want to print inside the loop body? Print I. I want to print I variable only because every iteration, first L is holding what collection? List collection. This list collection through, we are reading one by one value and stored them into loop variable I. So I only printing. I first iteration 10. I is holding 20, 30, 40 like this. We are keep on printing I value like this. This loop is perfect or yes. The advantage of loop is you can include any number of values like this. No need to change the values. No need to change the increment or decrement like this. You can include any number of collection. That collection will print one by one, simple loop through. No need to change the list result. So here result is printing into line by line. In the output window, you can see line by line is printing. If it is print line by line, I have to scroll and up and down like this. So I want to make in the same line only. How to print this result into same line, you can see. Print I end attribute I'm using. End attribute means end is attribute which makes your output values in the same line by producing some gap between each and every value. To display all the output elements in the same line, we can use end attribute here. End with comma also you can give, no problem. Comma is nothing but separator. Each and every value will print comma through. Okay, this is a separator. I don't need to use any separator. Only space separator I'm using here. So this is list iteration. List values one by one are coming. Okay. So, so we can reduce the values or increase the values, no matter. You need not to change any for loop, sir. It will loop through iteration clearly. Let's keep the breakpoint and check it. How to do iteration here. Debug test 7. Debugger window will start. Once debugger window started, now you can see initialization is done, list iteration. When we keep mouse pointer in the arrow mark, you can see list iteration having 0 index 10, 1 index 20, 2 index 30, 3 index 40, length is what? 4. Here L, when we place mouse pointer on L also, L is holding what values? 10, 20, 30, 40 values. You can expand this 10, 20, 30, 40 values also. It will be expand here only. Same thing. So I is holding what? Actually, no value is holding right now because we have not started any iteration. After keeping breakpoints and once we hit the debug option, what we need to do? Function key plus F8. Once I start function key plus F8, from list onwards, I value is getting value one by one. I is holding 10. Next, I is holding 20, 30, 40, 50. Every value is coming from list collection. This is sequence name. And it will be stored into what? I. We are printing I. So this is the advantage of for loop actually. When we have huge collection of values in your data structure or any sequence, how to retrieve the values one by one in the sense by using loop through. For loop through, we have to use. And most important thing is no need to take this sequence element here, L always here. Directly we can able to take the list structure and instead of L, we can able to take like this. This is also possible. No need to take any list statement here. Okay. Yes. So there are some squigglies are there. Let me show you, place mouse pointer on it and reformat the file, and reformatting the file is okay. So let's run this, and it is also possible, sir. And in this list collection, you can take any collection value. Even I'm taking range of 10. Range of 10 means what? Range will start from 0, 10 values will print. Iteration through. Range of 1000 also you can take. 1000 values will print. No problem at all. One loop can able to make lot of values iteration clearly. So in this collection, you can take any collection, tuple collection, list collection, string collection. For example, I'm taking Durga soft is white string. In this string, I'm using loop. So in this collection of characters, I'm taking one by one character and printing them separately. So now you can see separately we are printing them. So this is for loop. When we have huge number of values in the collection, and if you want to iterate them one by one by taking it from its collection, then better to use for loop only. Okay. But there is nested for loop concept also there, sir. What is nested for loop? Simple. Nested for loop in the sense a for loop which is having one more for loop within it. A for loop which is having one more for loop within it is called nested for loop. Loop within the loop is called nested for loop. Suppose this is the for loop. I'm taking one more for loop here. But do you think is this nested for loop? No, sir. Two are individual loops. Two are separate loops here. There is no nested for loop involved here. Because nested for loop means loop within the loop. But this is not loop within the loop. Two for loops are separate. When it will become loop within the loop, 1, 2, 3, 4 indentation levels. 1, 2, 3, 4 indentation levels are there. Now you can see this statements and this loop in the same order only. Same spaces located. This is inner loop, we can call it as. This is outer loop, we can call it as. But while working with nested for loop, it means outer loop, inner loop, there is one important statement is there. For every iteration of outer loop, for every iteration of outer loop, comma, inner loop, inner loop should finish its all iterations. Its all iterations. For every iteration of outer loop, inner loop should finish its all iterations. Then only, then only, then only outer loop will starts with its next iteration. Will starts with its next iteration, we can say. For every iteration of outer loop, inner loop should finish its all iterations. After completion of inner loop, its all iterations, then only next iteration will starts with outer loop only. This statement you can keep it in your mind, then we'll see how it will be iterate. So let's include nested loop concept here. First, I'm taking what is that? For loop I'm taking for n in 1, 2, 3 list. Print n I'm taking. N is a loop variable. My list is what? 1, 2, 3 values. Here in this loop, for C in one more loop I'm taking, one more iteration I'm taking, characters like AB characters, print C. So observe carefully, this loop is outer loop. This loop is inner loop. For every iteration of outer loop, inner loop should finish its all iterations. So what is the output? How it will be? First starts from here for n in 1, 2, 3. For n in 1, 2, 3 means n value how much it is? 1. N value will print 1. After printing n value 1, control will jump into inner loop C in A comma B. So C value means character value. So A, C equal to A. C will print, C value is what? A will print. but it's not complete inner loop all iterations. Still one more iteration is there like B. Next iteration again inner loop only, C equals to B. B value will print. So 1AB it will print. After inner loop iteration completion, then only outer loop will starts with next iteration like second iteration 2 only. Print 2, N value 2. After that, again internally inner loop will calculate like AB print after, again it will go to 3. 3, again inner loop AB. So final result is 1AB, 2AB, 3AB like this. Let's keep the breakpoint here and start debug here so that you will get clear idea how the loop is going to happen. First you can see once debugger window started, function key plus F8 you can hit N value 1. So N value 1 means first iteration of outer loop, N value will print 1 value. It's printing 1. Again function key plus F8, C value how much it is? A. Now you can see C equals to A value. C is printing A. Next inner loop only it will start next iteration because it's not finished inner loop iteration. C equals to B. C value B. B will be print. So it's finished inner loop iterations or not? 2 iterations. Yes, it's complete. After completion of inner loop all iterations, it will go to what? Next iteration of outer loop. N value 2. Again control will jump into inner loop. C equals to A. C equals to B. Again it will go to inner outer loop. Outer loop N value 3. 3 is printing. C equals to A. C equals to B like this. So outer loop, there is no iteration because it's completed. It will jump into out of the loop. 1AB, 2AB, 3AB. For every single iteration of outer loop, inner loop should finish its all iterations. How many are there? Then only next iteration starts with 2, AB, 3, AB like this. Got my point? So this is nested loop, sir. But once I remove this space, indentation, is this nested loop? No, it's not a nested loop. It's not a nested loop. These two loops are separate loop. Nested loop output is 1AB, 2AB, 3AB like this. But here two loops are separate loops, no? So this output is 1, 2, 3 AB only. First loop is complete all iterations 1, 2, 3. Next loop is complete what? AB only like this. This is not nested loop. When it will be nested loop, a loop within the loop like this. We can make indentation, bring them into inside the loop, and this print also inside the loop. Now this time in nested loop, outer loop, inner loop is there. For every iteration of outer loop, inner loop should finish its all iterations. 1 AB, 2 AB, 3 AB like this one. Got my point? So this is the case. So this is nested for loop, we can say that. A for loop which is having one more for loop within it is called nested for loops. Okay. Yes. Next, I'm talking about while loop. So while loop, how to do this? And before while loop, what I want to do? So I want to write a program using for loop to find sum of first n numbers. First n numbers means what? First number of n numbers, whatever user entered, that n numbers, I want to find sum of n numbers here using for loop through only. How to do this? So how to do it? We will see like one example I'll tell you for loop. So n value you can input of enter a number. So user will enter a number. That number through I'm going to what we can say write the code to find sum of n numbers. Sum of n numbers means, for example, my input is n value 10. First sum of n numbers will print. How to print? Look at it. S equals to 0. Result value I want to store into S value. S means sum. Or else you can take sum equals to 0 only. I'm taking. For I in range of n. N means what? Range of n. Okay. So here every iteration sum plus equals to I am taking. What is sum plus equals to I? This equation also we can do like this or not. Sum plus equals to I, or else we can go for sum equals to sum plus I or not. Both are same. We discussed already add and assignment operators. This is add and assignment operator plus equals to. Either you can use this expression or you can use sum equal to sum plus I. Sum is what? 0. 0 plus I value means every time one iteration will happen. So for example, my input is range. Range is what? Just let me print the result value here. After completion of iteration, finally we have to print what? Sum of n. N means your input numbers is, result is what? Sum only. For example, my input is 5. N value 5 I'm taking. N equal to 5. Sum of n numbers are what actually? 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. 4 plus 1. How much it is? 6, 4, 15. Sum of 5 values are 15 values. 15 is the count. Enter a number. Now you can see sum of 5 numbers is 10 is coming or not. Why 10 is coming? Reason I will tell you. Here range of n I am taking. Range will start from where? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes or no? N value 5. Range of 5 means what? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 only. So first iteration I some value 0. I value also what? 0 here. 0 equal to 0 plus 0 how much? 0 only. Some value 0 again. Next iteration I value 1. 0 equals to 0 plus 1. 0 plus 1 what? 1. 1 will be stored into sum. Next iteration I value 2. 2 plus 1 3 only. Next iteration 3. 3 plus 3 6. 4. 10 only. So sum of n numbers is 10 only it's coming because of range of n is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's look into this. How it will be. Okay. So I'm giving my input and let's look into this sum of 5 numbers, first 5 numbers, how much it is. Okay. Actually, first 5 numbers sum is what actually 15. But why it is coming, what we can say, 10, you can see. Let's hit the function key plus F8. Immediately it will ask you to enter the value in the console window. My input is 5, press enter, n value 5 sir. Some value 0 sir. Hit the function key plus F8. So range of 5 value. Range of 5 means range starts from 0 only. N value 0. Now you can say I value 0. Some value 0. You can say 0 equals to 0 plus 0. 0 plus 0, 0 only, no? Yes. S value, some value 0. Next, N value 1. 0 equals to 0 plus I value, how much it is? 1. 0 plus 1, 1. S value 1. Next, and I value 2. 2 plus 1, 3. I value 3. 3 plus 3, 6. I value 4. 4 plus 6, 10. So sum of n numbers is what? Sum of 5 numbers is 10 only. Why 10 is because range of n I am taking here. So range will start from by default what? 0 only. So we can better to make 1 only. So this is good practice because we want to go for sum of n numbers, 1 we have to make. Now this time your input is what? 5. So if your input is 5, then sum of first 5 numbers are what? 10 only it is coming. Why it is 10 only coming? Because range will start from 1, but up to n value. N means what? 5. Up to 5, not including 5. So we have to give what actually? N plus 1 again. So n plus 1 in the sense what? 5 plus 1, 6, up to 5. So 5 included, sum of 5 numbers are 15. This is exactly correct iteration. My range should start from 1 and n plus 1 I am taking. N plus 1 in the sense my input is n. Sum of n numbers means, suppose input is 5. 5 plus 1 means 6 only. Range of 6 means including 6, not excluding 6, including 5. So I'm going to take sum of 5 numbers are 15 correct value only here. So this is loop through. We can do sum of n numbers. These are all just statements, but actual code is this is only. I'm taking input value n, and I'm going to take one more variable, sum variable equal to 0, because result final I want to store into sum. For I in range of 1, even you can see this, if I don't use here this one, 0 onwards it will start. Now you can see first sum of n number of 5 is 15 only correct. This is also correct because by default it starts from 0, nothing problem. N plus 1 is there, that is range 6 only, range 5 it is going to be calculated. One number extra I'm taking. Suppose sum of first 10 numbers if we want to calculate, you can take your input is 10, n value 10, 10 plus 1, 11. Range of 11 means 0 to 10 only. So sum of first 10 numbers 55. This is for loop through, we can do it clearly. So next I'm going to discuss about while loop, sir. Same for loop how it is, same while loop we have to discuss. While loop and for loop difference is what? While loop is used to execute number of statements. While loop is used to execute the number of statements number of statements till the condition is false. Till the condition is false. Once the condition is false, then once the sorry, this statement I think wrong. While loop is used to execute number of statements, okay, till the condition is true only. Till the condition is true. Okay. Once the condition is false, then control will jump into out of the loop. Control will jump into out of the loop. Out of the loop. This is the while loop. So when we go for while loop and when we go for loop. Simple. When we have a limited iterations or fixed number of iterations, then I recommend for loop. Limited iterations or fixed number of iterations, then I recommend what? For loop only. Because as a programmer, we know how many iterations are required, how many iterations are going to take place. In that context, we can go for loop. Limited iterations or fixed number of iterations, or we can say noun iterations. Noun iteration means as a programmer, we know how many iterations will take place. In that context, we can go for loop only. Next, while loop. While loop means unlimited iterations, unknown iterations, because as a programmer, we don't know how many iterations will take place. And in that context, we can go for while loop. For example, there is a database. In the database, we don't know how many number of records are there, employee records, student records. But as long as records are available, I want to keep on reading the records, then we can go for while loop. But in the database, so many records are there, but you have clear idea how many records you need to retrieve. That means 5 records, 6 records, 10 records. Then we can go for loop. If you go for loop, for I in range of 5 records will read. But while loop is not like that. Condition based it will read. As long as database is having records, no matter how many records are there, I should read complete records, all the records, unknown iterations, unlimited iteration. Then you can go for while loop. So while loop is used to execute the number of statements keep on till the condition is true. Once condition is false, the control will jump into out of the loop only. So let's look into the while loop example also clearly. How to work with while loop clear. Okay. So let's see this. So while loop syntax is this one, sir. Let's give the syntax first. While is a keyword, condition is there, and in the loop body statements you have to write it. While is a keyword, condition, and then statements only. While keyword, condition, and then statement. Let's see this. How we can work with while loop. Suppose I value 1 I'm taking. While is the keyword, I less than or equal to 10 I'm taking. So print I, sir. Simple program it is, not a complex. So while I less than or equal to 10, that means what? I is 1 started. I value comparing with less than or equal to 10. I less than or equal to 10. Print I. Okay, once condition is true, then I have to print I. Now tell me anyone what output you're expecting in this case. If I execute these 3 lines of code, what output you're expecting? Tell me. You can give your reply in chat box. I value 1. 1 less than or equal to 10. Correct. I'm saying that print I. Then what is the output you're expecting? Tell me. Give your reply in chat box. I'll wait for your reply. And please you mention your names, okay? Mr. Dell, who is Dell? Who joined with name called Dell? Please mention your valid name. While joining the session, you can mention your valid name, I'm saying, okay? Don't give your computer names or any shortcut names. Please join with proper name. Madhumati, you said one. Only one? Or it's going to be keep on one only, always? Only one will print and stop, or else it's keep on one is only printing. 1 to 10 numbers, Koteshwara. Okay. No. Well tried. So I'm asking, it's only one. Only one. Okay. See this. What is our while loop statements I use like? It is used to execute number of statements here till the condition is true. As long as condition is true, it's going to be keep on execute number of statements or not. Once the condition is false, then we'll jump into out of the loop. But where is the condition is false? I equals to 1. 1 less than or equal to 10. 1 only print, keep on. There is no condition is false, no? So it's keep on printing 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. You can't stop. You can stop. It's keep on executing like this. So I said that while loop is used to execute number of statements. Okay, number of statement till the condition is what true. Once condition is false, then what will happen? It will jump into out of the loop. But there is no condition false case here. Okay, so that is the problem. Now I'll stop the debug. You can stop the debug by hitting red square box here. We are stopping in the middle. Okay, like. So why it is not printing 1 to 10 means I have not incremented any value here. To increment the value here in Python, I equal to I plus 1 is there. There is no I plus 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 I like that in other languages. Now this time what will happen, Mr. Koteswara, you are right now this time. 1 to 10 values will print. So I value 1. 1 less than or equal to 10. Correct. If it is correct, I value print. After printing 1, I will become increment or not. Extra value 1. I will become 2. 2 less than or equal to 10. Correct. Correct means 2 print. 2 will become 3. 3 less than or equal to 10. Correct. 3 print. 3 plus 1, 4. 9 plus 1, 10. 10 less than or equal to 10. Correct. 10 will print. 10 will become 11. 11 less than or equal to 10. Correct. Not correct. Then it will stop. So 1 to 10 values are printing now this time. And if you want to print 1 to 10 values in the same line, you can use end attribute, no problem. Let's keep the breakpoint and check it once, how it will be iterated. Now you can see once debugger window started here. Now you can see here, when we hit this I value initialization 1 value is there in the I. 1 value is there in the I less than or equal to 10. When we place mouse pointer on less than or equal to true, when we hit function key plus F8, I value print 1, I value incrementing by 1, I equal to I plus 1, I will become 2. 2 less than or equal to 2 is correct or not? Correct. Correct means it will print 2, 2 increment by 1, it will become 3, 3 less than or equal to 10, correct. Print, increment, correct. Print, increment, 5, correct. 5 will be print, increment, 6, correct. 7 less than or equal to 10, correct. Printing, increment, 8 less than or equal to 10, correct. Printing, increment, 10 less than or equal to 10, correct. Printing 10, increment, 11 is there. Now you can see I value is holding 11. 11 less than or equal to 10. What actually? False. Because 11 is not less than or equal to 10. Both are not correct. False means it will jump into out of the loop. So we got 1 to 10 values or not? Yes. So this is while loop. It's keep on executing number of statements as long as condition is true. Once condition is false, it will jump into out of the loop only clear. Okay. Yes. Same example, what we discussed in the previous session, like for loop through, what we have seen, no? How to find sum of n numbers. Same example we can do with what? While loop through also. Okay, how to do while loop through? Look at here. I'm taking I value 1. I'm including what actually? N value I'm accepting. N equals to int of input of enter a number. So user will enter a number. That sum of numbers I want to do. So my I value equal to 1 only. N values user will give an input number. So I less than or equal to what actually? N I have to say that. Whenever I less than or equal to 10. So what is the sum value here? Sum is there? No, sum is not there. Sum value 0. So immediately what I have to do? Sum equals to sum plus I. Sum equals to sum plus I. Then every time I increment to 1. Finally, I have to result to what actually? Print sum of n numbers is. What is that? Sum 1. Let's run this one. We can cross verify. Then we will keep the breakpoint. First sum of 5 numbers are what actually? 15 only. Yes or no? Exactly. Look at here. N value 5. Okay. I value 1. It's a loop variable. Sum value 0, where we are going to store result value here. Now I value starts from 1. 1 less than or equal to n value what? Input is 5. 1 less than or equal to 5, correct or no? Correct. If it is correct, sum value 0 equal to 0 plus I value what? 1. 0 plus 1 what? 1. 1 will be assigned to sum. Sum will be hold 1 value. Next iteration, I increment by 1. I value become 2. 2 less than or equal to 5, correct. Sum value 1 is there already. 1 plus 2, 3. Like this. So let's keep the breakpoint and check it clearly one by one. I'm not going to give this. Now let's debug test. So same example using while loop and for loop through we are doing. Now you can see my input is 5, n value 5, I value 1, sum value 0. Now I value 1, 1 less than or equal to n, that is true, means n value what? 5. After true, sum equals to sum plus I, then 0 equal to 0 plus I value 1, sum value 1. I value increment by 1, I will become 2. So I value 2, 2 less than or equal to 5, correct? Sum value is how much it is? Sum equal to 1, 1 plus I value what? 2, 1 plus 2, 3 only. Sum will be 3. Now I is incrementing by 1, I will become 3. 3 less than or equal to 5, correct? Here n value 5, I value how much it is? 3. 3 less than or equal to 5, correct? When it is correct, sum value 3 is there, 3 is there here. 3 plus I value how much it is there? 3 is there. 3 plus 3 how much it is? 6. 6 will be stored where into sum. I value increment by 1. I will become 4. Sum equal to 6. 4 less than or equal to 5, correct. 4 less than or equal to 5, correct, means 6 plus 5. Sum value 6, I value 4, 10. Sum value 10, I value 5. 5 less than or equal to 5, correct. 10 plus 5, 15. Then I will become increment by 1. I value will become 6. But 6 less than or equal to 5, is this correct? No, correct. So I value 6 is there, n value 5 is there, but both are not correct. If it is not correct, control will jump into out of the loop and print the value. Sum of first 5 numbers are 15 only. So same example we have done with while loop and we have done with for loop. Just you have to focus a little bit logic. So what's going to happen, how the flow is going to be executing, you have to keep the breakpoint and try to run this. It's very simple. It's not a big deal. Okay. So this is while loop and for loop. And now inside the using for loop, using while loop, we have to use these important transfer statements also, sir. What you have to use? Transfer statements. So break is there, continue is there, pass is there. Pass is very simple, it's not a matter, but break and continue are important. Break we can use with for loop, break we can use with while loop, break we can use with continue, break we can, continue with for loop, continue with while loop. See, break with for loop, break with while loop. I will show the examples. And also continue with for loop, continue with while loop. I will show also example. Okay, this is. Now pass is a keyword. I will tell you pass also. We'll finish it today. These three completely now. So first we will talk about break. Break is used to stop the iterations. Break is used to stop the iterations based on the condition. Break is used to stop the iterations based on conditions. Break is used to stop the iterations based on the condition. Means whenever you want to stop the iterations based on your condition, you can break it. It's completely stop the iterations. Break. But continue is not like that. Look at here. Continue is used to skip the current iteration. Continue is used to skip the current iteration and continue with the next iteration. Continue with the next iteration like this. Continue with the next iteration. It will not stop all iteration. It will continue with the next iteration. Break is used to stop the iterations based on condition, and continue is used to skip the current iteration and continue with the next iteration. I'll tell you first break using for loop, continue using for loop, so that it will be clear. Later we'll go for while loop also clear. Okay. Yes, let's go for test 8, other program. Test 8 I'm taking. Suppose look at this for loop for I in range of this logic you know already, range of 10. So print I. So I'm giving clarity in the same output only. So this is. So if you want to start range 1, you can use 1 only, no problem. So it will print what? Range of 10 values, 1 to 9. 1 to 9 values will print. So this loop can able to print 1 to 9 values. But my requirement is I don't need 1 to 9 values. If I equals to 5, whenever I value reaches to 5, then I have to stop the iterations. Then what keyword I am using? Break keyword I am using. Though this for loop can able to print range of 1 to 10 values, but whenever my value I is reaches to 5, if it is equals to 5, then I have to do what? Break. So break means what? Complete iteration will stop or not? Look at here. Break is used to stop the iterations based on what? Condition. My condition is what? Whenever I value reaches to 5, then I have to stop the iterations. Now you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 is only printed. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 will not print it. So this is the way to stop the iterations. Sir, I need 5 value in the output. So if you need 5 value in the output, first we can print the value, then you can apply the condition. So after printing 5, you can compare with 5 matches equals to 5, then you can stop it. So you can get output value in the output value also. 5 value also will become in the output window. That is your wish. Okay. So this is the break. But sir, I want to use continue now. Continue can do what? Continue is used to skip the current iteration and continue with the next iteration. Only particular iterations you want to continue, then we can skip. That is continue. So how to work with continue, we'll see now. Suppose here, if I equals to 5, then what I need to do? Continue. Continue means what? Only current iteration will skip, sir. What is the current iteration? Fifth iteration, because my condition is for 5. Whenever I value reaches to 5, then I want to skip the 5 and continue with iteration, next iteration, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 5 is there? No, because I have clearly mentioned the condition. Whenever I value is equal to 5, you can better to skip the I value, don't print, and remaining values you can continue like 6, 7, 8. If you want to print more values iteration, like if you want to stop the iterations or condition, you can write. Again, I'm taking I equals to 8 also. I want to skip this. So both iterations, fifth iteration, eighth iteration will skip and remaining iterations will print. There is no 5 value, there is no 8 value. Like this you can do. Got my point? So you can do that conditional based also. If you want to skip the conditional based, you can do this. For example, look at here. For range of 1 comma 101. 101 in the sense, what is this? My logic is here in this 1 comma 101 in the sense for I in range of 1 comma 101. I value 1, range 100 value is there. 101 means including 100, excluding 101. Start from 1. But my requirement is what you know? I want to print 1 to 100. Only even numbers I want to print. What I need to print? Only even numbers. How we can print? So my condition is very clear. If I modulus 2 not equal to 0, this is my condition. Means a number modulus 2 not equal to 0, remainder is not equal to 0, that I want to skip this. Means odd numbers will skip this. Okay. And only even numbers will print or not? Yes. Look at here. All even numbers only printing from 1 to 100. If my continue means skip only. Okay, skip that logic. This logic, whenever it is true, then skip this. 1 is skip, 3 is skip, 5 is skip, like odd numbers will skip. But if I give my logic is like this, what is the meaning here? Only even numbers will skip and odd numbers will print 1 to 100. How it is simple? So we can use this continue and break using for loop like this. So break is used to stop the iteration based on your condition, whatever condition you want. If you want, you can stop it immediately. And continue is used to skip the current iteration and continue with the next iteration clearly. So we discuss for loop with break, for loop with continue. Now we will discuss for while loop with continue, while loop with break only. Okay, let's see this. So for example, I value 1 while I less than or equal to 10, while I less than or equal to 10, sir. Then what I'm trying to print I, end attribute I'm using. Yes, this is end attribute. Now coming to this here, this loop can able to print, oh sorry, it's my mistake. I value not increment, I plus 1. So let's rerun this. Now you can see. So I value is printing what? 1 to 10 values. But my requirement is here in the while loop also, if when my condition is reaches to 5, then I don't want to print 5. If I equals to 5, then I should say what? Breaks are. When I value reaches to 5, then break it. Break it means immediately stop the iterations. 1, 2, 3, 4 values only will come. This is break. But what about continue? Observe here. Continue I'm taking. Continue is used to skip what? Current iteration or not? What is the current iteration? Fifth iteration. So it will skip the current iteration. It will print with next iteration. But is this print with next iteration? No. Why not? Observe carefully. This program still executing, sir. Now it's still executing. Keep on 555 value only. I will show you why it is still executing. Okay, let's keep the breakpoint here. What is going to happen, sir? Why not it is skipping 5 value and 6 value will not continue? Let's look into this. Debug test. Debugger window started. Once debugger window started, observe carefully. I value 1 less than or equal to 10, true only. If it is true, control immediately jump into if condition. I value 1 equal to 5. Is this true? Not true. If not true, then continue will not work. Okay, I have to skip. So if this if when continue will skip the iteration whenever I value reaches to 5 only, but I value 1 only, 1 equal to 5 not correct. It will jump into where? Print 1 will become 2, incrementing 1, 2 less than or equal to 10. Correct. 2 equal to 5 not correct. Then print 2, 3 I will become 3 value less than or equal to 10. Correct. 3 equal to 5 not correct. It will print 3 plus 1 4 less than or equal to 10. Correct. 4 equal to 5 not correct. Print 4 I plus 1 4 plus 1 5 less than or equal to 10. Correct. But 5 equal to 5. Correct. Correct means what? It has to be skip the iteration and it will go to continue. But to move forward, there is one increment thing is there, but there is no incrementation after continuation. That's what it is moving back again. I value how much it is 5 less than or equal to 10. Correct. 5 equal to 5. Correct. Continue moving back like this. It's keep on moving back only. It's not moving forward. Why? Because after skipping the fifth iteration, we are not incrementing the value. That's what it's not moving proceed forward. So this is a problem. It's keep on executing 555 only like this. So this is not good idea. You can stop this. Then what is the problem? You can see before continue skip the iteration. Here also we have to increment the value. I equal to I plus 1. Whenever I reaches to 5 equal to 5, then I will become increment by 1, 6 will be there. And along with 6 through it will continue. So fifth iteration is going to skip and sixth through it will continue, 6, 7, 8, 9 like this. Got my point? Yes. Because of we have not incremented, it's not moving forward. If we increment here, it moving forward like 6, 7, 8, 9. Fifth iteration is going to skip. Even if you want to skip more iterations, you can use r equals to I equals to 7. 7 iteration also will skip. Fifth iteration also will skip and continue with next iteration. 5, 7 is not there in the output window. So this is while loop with continue, while loop with break, for loop with continue, for loop with break. Break is simply is used to stop the iterations. All iteration will stop whenever condition is reaching true. Continue is not like that. Continue is only it is used to skip the current iteration, particular iteration, and it will continue with next iterations clearly. So this is about control flow statements. Now coming to the pass keyword. It's very simple pass keyword. See, in Python programming, any inside the loop body or while loop body, for loop body, if condition body, else condition body, if you don't have any idea to write the statements, if you want to leave that block of code empty, then you can use break. For example, you can see here, I'm not going to write any code here in the while loop. So I can use what? Pass. Pass is a keyword in Python. When we use pass means pass can be used when programmer wants to make empty block of code in Python. Means inside the while loop, I don't want to write any code, you can pass it. When we use pass keyword in your program, so that your Python interpreter will understand that programmer has not written anything, so we have to pass it, skip it. But if you don't use pass keyword, you should not make this loop while loop body empty, so it will give indentation error again. Okay, inside the while loop or inside the for loop, inside the if block. So if you don't want to write any logic, then simply what we can use, pass we can use. If you don't use pass keyword, if you make empty blocks like this, then it will give what? Indentation errors are. Compulsory how to skip the logic means pass only it is required. So when we give pass, then it will not happen anything. But when we don't give any pass, if block or else block, it will give indentation error. So in Python programming, whenever you want to leave the if block code, else block code, inside the for loop, inside the while loop, inside the function, inside the class, any block of statements you don't want to include, better to use pass. Later, when we got idea to implement your logic, you can remove the pass keyword, you can implement your logic and it happily it will work clearly. But don't leave the empty block of code while writing Python script, that leads to indentation error. So if you want to leave the block of code without implementation, better to use what? Pass keyword. So this is about pass, break, continue, all keywords and control flow statements clearly. So that's all for now today. And tomorrow onwards, we'll see string data structure and its complete operations. Because as I said that in my previous examples, once I complete control flow statements and operators concept, we will go for complete data structure discussion in detail. String, list, tuple, set, dictionary, range with all functionalities will start. So tomorrow our task is string data structure and its complete operations we have to discuss. So that's all. And if you have any question, please feel free to ask me now. See, once you receive the video, don't play directly. It will take time to play. So you can download it and play later. Okay. So that's all. Or else you can wait and play. So videos will be play like that. So once you receive the video, immediately when we play the video, then it might takes time to play so that you can notice. So see you tomorrow. Have a nice day.